Hello, my friend, and welcome to the 566th episode of the Sales Podcast. I'm Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer, your host. Today we have Brandon Bornancin back in the house. He's the founder of Seamless.ai. He was on back episode 490, back in February 2021. But, smart guy, making some things happen. I'm actually working with some other software I've just run across, signed some agreements. Some of them, one of them uses Seamless.ai. It's typically for bigger companies, so I'm finding tools for smaller businesses and even solopreneurs to use affordably to make more money in sales. Because what he's doing and what he states in this interview, and I agree with, is that outbound prospecting, when done right, is easier and more effective, more productive, more profitable than inbound marketing. Now, you're going to get big companies, they're going to argue that, but the fact is these big companies have a hard time getting good salespeople, and they don't have good sales training, they don't have good scripts, they don't have good processes, so they rely on just big money to brand themselves and eventually create some inbound leads. If you know who you're going after and why you're going after them, and if you can find those right people and deliver a relevant message at the moment of relevance, outbound can be phenomenal. That's what Brandon has made a name for himself doing. Okay, so we get into some of his secret sauce and why he's successful, and you're in for a treat. All right, but these are the things I've been teaching and covering from the beginning. I'm a salesman that understands both technology and marketing. I'm a unicorn, baby. I'm like Mark Wahlberg, right? I'm a peacock. I got to fly. Have fun with that, but it's the truth. Most marketers aren't very good at sales. They're mediocre at technology, maybe. Most technicians, technologists are terrible at sales and marketing. But if you can find someone that can help you nail down your opening lines, nail down your pitches, if you will, your presentations, your negotiation, how to anticipate objections and neutralize them before they ever come up, then leverage technology to get better and faster, quicker, more efficient delivering that message. Come join me, all right? Sellmoreofeverything.com. That's what we're getting after. That's what I'll help you do. I've had a couple more folks join recently. The word is growing. I'm about to raise prices on it. I've got to do what I tell my own members to do. Christian did that earlier this year, and he chickened out. He didn't raise his prices as much as I said, and every one of his clients took him up on it, and it was a big increase. It was 13% for regular work, 20% increase on rush jobs, and I had told him 20, 25, on the two, but we've already discussed how to raise his prices again at the end of the year. And he's had multiple best months ever, back to back to back. So join us, sellmoreofeverything.com. It's on demand content, private group. You can ask questions, live calls. Let me help you grow your sales. All right. Invest in yourself in these crazy times. You will be glad you did. Sellmoreofeverything.com. Go do that, then come back and listen to this interview with Brandon. Brandon Bornancin back in the house from episode 490. Welcome to the Sales Podcast, man. How the heck are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me. I can't believe you've been doing this past 500 plus episodes. It's insane. You inspire me. Thanks so much for having me today.
You know what? This month is my 9-year anniversary.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And actually, I started in 2009 with a buddy of mine. We were doing the Southern social media. I'm originally from Louisiana. He's from Kentucky, but we really didn't do too many. But man, I started this way back in 2009 doing podcasting. And dude, it was hard. It was so hard back then. You're piecing together stuff, trying to find information, but
wild.
I may not be smart, but I'm stubborn. So,
I believe work harder so that you can cover up how not smart you are. So that's been my secret.
Just figure it out. So man, are you Are you like 50 Cent? What are these platinum albums you got here?
Yes.
Who are
50
you?
Cent actually works for me.
Nice, man.
So these plaques, so my mission is to help every person in the world get their products and services in the hands of everyone that desperately needs them, and to get 1 million President's Club winners. So when we work with people and they make over $1 million in sales, we ship them the 7-figure President's Club award. We've got thousands of people that have won this award. And then when you get to 6 figures in sales, you get the gold award. So the goal is, hey, get to the 6-figure club award, then get to the 7-figure club award, then get to the 8-figure club award. And all the 8-figure club winners, we get together at my place in Florida and we celebrate. And also anyone that wins these awards at our customer event called President's Club, they get to walk on stage and they get featured the awards. And, you know, I was sick. So the story, you want to hear a story real quick, Wes?
Tell me the story.
So I was selling for IBM. These fucking assholes. Sorry, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear or not, right? I had the worst boss. Like just no training, no coaching. This was like right when I was out of school. My second company failed. So my first company for the poker industry did $12 million, 18, 19, 20 years old. Thought I was a genius. Then they made President Bush, loved the guy, hated the legislation that he passed called the USA Port Harbor Act, kills online gambling in the US, 2007. So then I launched this second company. I'm like, okay, poker's done. That was going to revolutionize the world. Now text message marketing is going to revolutionize the world with flip phones. I work on building this in mobile company. It fails for the next 3 to 4 years for one main reason, because I didn't have the list of the people that I needed to sell to. So I lose 4 million, go out of business. So then I go and I work for IBM. And when I was selling for IBM, I had this real shitty manager. No training, no coaching, no support, no nothing, no lists, no nothing. And I remember they gave me this massive quota. And I basically, it was first 25 million, and then we beat it, and then we had to do 50 million, my team and I. And it was always like right when you hit quota, they didn't give a shit. They just gave you more money that you had to generate, and they moved the goal. There was no celebration. This person wouldn't even like come up to me and thank me for my 18 hours a day, 7 days a week work ethic. So I felt like all this time away from my family, all this time away from my friends, all this time away working 7 days a week to try to win all these customers for IBM was just a waste of time. So when I launched Seamless, Seamless, my company, it basically, we believe that everything you want in this life is just one list away. For you to sell anything to anyone, you need the list. The only way to build the list, sell the list, is with Seamless. And when we launched that company, I said, I will never let another salesperson feel like shit like I did at IBM with my asshole former boss, John, who all he cared about was his corporate number, never celebrated me, never, ran President's Club. So we created our own event, and those are the awards, and they are signed, they are personally signed by 50 Cent himself.
Damn. One day, maybe the Sales Whisperer will sign them, and those will be worth something.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
So who are you giving these to? Are these just individual salespeople that invest in your training, or are they your employees, or who?
So we give them to anyone that uses any of our products. So we've got our software, right? That's free. Anyone can join for free to use Seamless to find emails and phone numbers for everyone that they need to sell to. And the majority of the people that win them are customers that buy a license for like $100 a month. They're using it, and then they'll generate. You can report. Basically, you could hit the gong in the app and report how many sales, how many appointments you've been generating. And then we know when you hit 100K, 1 million, 10 million, you name it. And there's thousands that have won the 6-figure club award. There's only a few thousand that have won the 7-figure club award. But the goal, every day I wake up, I write it down. Number one goal, 100 million in ARR and IPO. Because I believe if we could generate 100 million in annual recurring revenue, we positively impacted probably 1 to 10 billion people. And there's only 7 billion people on this planet, right? And then number 2, 1 million President's Club winners. So just a personal mission for me and our company and our team, giving it to all of our users, customers. We also have some info products, right? Training, courses, books, And, the people that use our stuff that are super successful, we print this $1,000 award and get it to them.
That's badass. So you had a couple failures.
Yep.
And you had some success. So what?
Very little, way more failure than success.
Hey, but
it only takes one though, like you can fail 1,000 times. It only takes one win.
Well, yeah, like baseball, right? If you hit 3 out of 10, you're in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I should have played baseball.
So what was the gambling thing? I mean, you were young when you did that, huh?
Oh, dude. Talk about the best time of your life. So I'm 17. I'm an addicted Texas Hold'em gambler with my friends. And my friends were really good. So I would win half the time. Half the time I would lose everything. And when you're like 16, 17, you're getting paid $10 an hour, $7 an hour, right? So $100 is pretty much all you've got for the week. And we would just always gamble, play Texas Hold'em. And then I just started reading a bunch of books on how to get good. Like, what are the best starting hands? What are the outs for an inside straight, outside straight, a flush on the turn, a flush on the flop, a flush on the river? So I just knew all the odds and the math, even though I wasn't good at math. I was terrible at math, but like I only knew the math that was important. Best starting hands, and then shit to catch on the flop and the river. So I applied that. And I got really good at Texas Hold'em poker. I'd go to Canada and play because in the US you weren't allowed to gamble till you were 21. So I'd go to Windsor in Canada and gamble, and then went to college. And, all the online poker sites and World Series of Poker were coming to the US. And when I was 18, I was like, I wanted to always start a company. And I realized if I marry my freaking poker passion and obsession with sales and selling poker to everyone, I can make a lot of money. So everyone kept coming to me like, hey, where do you play? Where do you play? And I'm like, dude, I should just sell these guys. I should get paid to tell these people where to play online poker. So then I just started cold calling these poker companies: Full Tilt Poker, Poker Stars, Party Poker. Full Tilt Poker told me to screw off. Poker Stars said, you're not even of legal age to gamble. Party Poker, they're like, yeah, we're in. We'll pay you $100 a player. So then I just started selling everyone in my dorm to join Party Poker. Then I started selling everyone at every dorm at Ohio University. I went to OU for 3 reasons: number 1 sales school, number 1 business school in the state, and number 1 party school. So it was a 3-fer, not even a 2-fer. It was a 3-fer. And when I was a freshman, I then took it online, went from making $1,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 100,000, 100,000 to $1 million. And it made $12 million in sales over the course of 3.5 years, up until President Bush passed his asshole legislation that shut it down in the US.
Man. Oh, well. You know what? It made you strong, made you tough, made you resilient.
Yeah. I didn't, the cool part about it was I didn't lose anything.
Right.
Like, this isn't like you launch and build a company and you invest all this money and then like you lose it all. It just stopped. It was like frozen.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. It was much better than losing everything. The second company is where I lost everything. Because we invested all this cash, tried to build this company, couldn't sell it. We didn't have the list of the people that we needed to sell in mobile to. We didn't know how to sell it if we could figure out who to sell it to. And it was the longest 3.5, 4 years of my life, and lost $4 million and everything I owned, and then broke and was like, okay, let's go full-time sales again.
Yeah. So your software, Seamless.ai, it's for people doing outbound, right? That's who it helps.
So it helps any professional trying to connect with anyone. Like, our mission, the company mission, is to help to help professionals connect opportunity, to help the world connect opportunity and positively impact billions. So like, I used Seamless to, acquire 500,000 sales teams using the product. So we built the list, sold the list. I used Seamless to raise 100 million in venture capital funding. So I built the list of all the angel investors and venture capitalists and growth equity firms. And I started emailing, calling, prospecting, doing outbound, like you had mentioned, Wes, to all of these investors, and booked meetings and then pitched them to invest. I used it to get press, right? Like how I originally got connected with you was all the podcasts. Like, well, first I interviewed you for Sales Secrets, the book, which was awesome to have you in the book and on the podcast. We built a list of all the top sales experts, and then we found their contact info, emails, and phone numbers using Seamless. Then we reach out to you with emails and calls, get you booked. So it's really, and I use it for recruiting. I've hired 500 to 1,000 people over the past 3 years. And all I do is I build a list of the people that I need to recruit. Then I call, email, social sell them, get them booked on an interview, and pitch and close them. So anyone that needs to connect with anything, anyone for anything. We had people use it to get a hold of cancer doctors to help their loved ones. We had people use it for reporters on the news. They've used it to connect to different people for stories. If you need emails and phone numbers for anyone, it's perfect for that.
I thought Outbound doesn't work anymore.
Oh gosh, Outbound works 10 times better than Inbound. This is so stupid. I love this, by the way. I fucking love fighting with marketers. I love my marketing genius, JP. He's our VP of marketing, and I've worked with him for a decade. I'm like, JP, our demo, the cost to book a demo for marketing is 3 to 4x the cost to book with Outbound. Because here's what you do, right? It ads and inbound marketing. You spend, you pay per 1,000 impressions, right? So I'm going to pay per 1,000 impressions. And those impressions are going to be advertising works is like spray and pray. We're just going to get the ad in front of as many people as possible, whether they're qualified or not. And that's why the cost of advertising in inbound is so high, dude, because your fucking ad is getting shown to people that are qualified, people that are unqualified. So what's great about Outbound is
oh, no, we do rifle shots, man. We have targeted marketing. We are professionals.
I love that. I'm sure. And I bet you're wasting, I forget that guy who said it, we waste 50% of our ad spend. We just don't know what 50% we waste, right?
That was way back. That was the old Woolworth founder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says 100%. we know 50% of our advertising and marketing dollars are wasted. We just don't know which 50%.
Exactly. So it's if I was starting any company, I would start heavily investing in ads at 50 mil in ARR. Outbound is the best way to find everyone that you need to sell to, and then market and get them booked on appointments and then get them closed. So it's the most efficient, most effective, most cost effective too.
I saw a guy on Twitter this morning. I don't know if I could find it real quick, but some dude pontificating something to the effect of, see if I can find it. Oh, hey, look at that. He liked my comment.
Oh, there we go.
Because
what'd you say? Hey, asshole, you're wrong.
Kind of. What did he say? He was talking about. He was saying you need to do marketing. I recommend validating your startup idea. Nope.
Make sure this audio is good. B-Rock.
He was basically talking about you need to market before you need to sell.
Oh God.
Right. I was like, what? So it's showing my
a ton of money.
So here you go. He says, I strongly recommend investing in marketing before sales at your startup. So I didn't want to be too contentious. Did I lose you? What's going on? All right, a little technical glitch. But he says, I strongly recommend investing in marketing before sales at your startup. And like I said, I don't want to be too contentious. I said, well, marketing is just selling in print. The best marketers understand that they're in sales.
Yeah.
It's funny how people, I think deep down, maybe not even all that deep down. People, they're afraid of sales. They don't like sales. They don't like the rejection. They don't know how to do it well.
100%.
So they poo-poo it, right? But it's like, dude, you're just not good at it.
Yeah.
You don't know people. You can't read people. You can't adjust on the fly. You haven't done enough reps to do this efficiently, professionally. So you're going to say, oh, it's all marketing. And it's like, how can you be a good marketer and not understand sales? Because it's all sales, right? Are you looking at my ad? What does the image say? What's the headline? What's the caption? What's the call to action? When I take you to the landing page, what's the flow there? What's the call to action? I mean, it's all sales. It's just in print.
100%. Yeah, I think I bet you that person sells marketing.
No, what does this guy do? He's the CEO of something.
Of an ad tech company.
Some altcoin, both acquired. So the guy's had some success. You know, everybody's a genius on social media.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say that, right? Oh, you should just do a bunch of marketing. Well, what do you do when you're the bootstrapped entrepreneur or sales team that has no money? It's like, okay, the fastest way to market and sell to anyone is build the list, sell the list.
Yeah.
Like, get on LinkedIn, get on Seamless, build the list, sell the list. It's going to be way faster and more cost effective. I have the data. Booking a demo costs 4 to 5x more from marketing than sales.
Yeah.
The cost per acquisition of marketing is 3 to 7 to 10x what it is from the sales team. We work with 500,000 sales teams.
Yeah. Well, I see it all the time. I'm working with
direct. It's way faster. Yeah. I was about to ask you, Wes, what do you see on your end? Is your like direct prospecting outbound more efficient than your marketing?
Yeah. I mean, I'm working with 2 clients right now, and it's so interesting. So one, they're a rapidly growing business. They'll do 15 million this year, double from last year, which is double from the year before.
It's awesome. It's great.
10-year plan to get to 100 million. And so they're bringing me in after some things are already in place. And I met with them. I was on site last week with them. And so it was so cool, because in the middle of training, I was like, just here, give me some leads. And I called some of them, right? And just worked the leads. And I'm not in their industry.
Yeah. Right? You probably crushed it.
Yeah. And the CEO, he's like, man, he says, we were about to change our ads. We were thinking we were getting the wrong leads, because they have a shit ton of leads. Okay. Great industry, great business. They're the leader in the space. And he's like, we don't need to change our ads. We just got to learn how to sell. I'm like, yes. Right. Yes. Talking with another guy, totally different industry, in the medical industry, and health and wellness. Same thing. They're running these ads. Wasn't doing great. And I'm like, who are you targeting? Right? Because they're targeting the wrong people with the wrong message. And when you understand sales, like you can't be good at marketing if you don't understand the people and the pain they're going through. And you don't understand that unless you're in sales. You got to be great at sales to understand the problem that the customer has. And I've seen this over and over and over again. And people, they make it so complex. Ads and images, and you talk about ad fatigue, and then all the complexities around pixels and retargeting and lookalike customers, and what's the sequence you're running them through, and landing pages and split testing. And it's like, oh, that's wonderful, but it's freaking hard, and it's expensive, and it's iterative, right? You got to keep tweaking it. And it's nice to augment what you're doing. I'm not saying don't market, but you can pick up the phone today and make a sale today. Certainly, even if it's a complex sale, you can make a sale by the end of the week. And I don't know, you can do that with marketing, starting flat-footed, right, at zero, and ratchet up marketing. And because even if in a complex sale, somebody's got to talk to them. I don't know very many things other than like supplements or a few other things that somebody buys online without ever speaking to a human, right? I mean, you need a salesperson in there.
Yep, 100%. People are either buying to remove pain or buying to get pleasure, and you got to know, what are they trying to move towards? How, what, when, where, why? That value prop, the call to action, like you mentioned, like there's only a certain number of variables. The persona, what do they care about? What's the value prop? What's the pain? What's the current situation, the desired situation, the gap? How is your solution going to help them get there? You know?
So what's the temperature, the attitude of the people you're working with now, right? Crypto's crashing. Yeah. All the technology stocks are crashing. Netflix is down. Salesforce is down.
Everything's down.
And HubSpot's off like 65% from its highs. Still has like actually, HubSpot doesn't even show their PE ratio. Shopify's down like 80%, and they still have like a 212 PE, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Freaking crazy. Inflation is 647%, but they tell us it's only 8.6%, but I'm sure we can trust the government. Cost you gotta get a loan just to fill up your car. So what's going on, man? How are your people feeling that you're talking to?
Yeah, I mean, so our employees, you talking about our employees or our customers?
Everybody. Your employees are probably okay because you're okay. Like your customers,
we train them to be bulletproof. Like the goal is you got to be bulletproof. You got to do whatever it takes to be successful, right? You got to have that positive mindset, can do. I'm going to put in 3 to 5x the amount of activity, the amount of leads, the amount of appointments, the amount of sales, and just to generate the same results I was generating last quarter, you know? So we teach our people, like, you have to embrace the pain and know that it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very challenging, but you can be successful. We've survived every other challenge and we've grown 3 to 5x every year. So, you know, if you've got your people trained to do that, you're golden. Now the prospects, we're a little lucky because, like, when the economy is bad, people need sales. When the economy is good, people want more sales. So selling sales leads and sales lists here at Seamless, it's recession proof. However, people have tighter budgets. People are taking more time to think about it. So you have to showcase the urgency, the ROI, the impact that you're going to make on these customers' lives to get them to where they need to go, you know, and by serving them and doing that, you'll be able to lock down a ton of deals.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're not trying to help your customers and you don't have a product that could change their life forever for the better, you're dead in the water, and I'd go sell anything else but whatever you got going on. Yeah. But we know, hey, we've got thousands of people that won President's Club Award. That means they generate $1 million in sales. You know, I've got over 26 million sales leads were researched last month using Seamless. Let's just say average, you're a marketing guy, okay? Let's just say the average conversion rate, 0.025% on 26 million. This is going to be, okay, 650,000 appointments last month made from all of our users. Let's just say they close at a third, 214,500 closed deals times $10,000 average deal size, which is probably low, but whatever. You know, that's $2.1 billion in revenue created for our customers.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I fundamentally know and believe that what I have to offer is going to make them money, change their lives forever for the better, help them provide and serve for their employees, their customers, their company. And salespeople just need to be obsessed with serving their customers, be obsessed with taking them from where they're at today to where they want to go. And how does their products and services do that? And right now, more than ever, I think that the biggest sales objections, like, because last year we booked 51,000 appointments just for our company. This year we're on track to do over 110,000 appointments. in all these meetings every day, the one thing that we're seeing more of is, hey, I need to think about it, or I need to talk to more people to get budget approval and to get sign off, right? So you just got to work that deal. You got to be prepared that sales cycles may extend unless you know how to overcome the sales objections of, I need to think about it. What's your guarantee? I need to talk to more people, send me more info. So if you can become bulletproof, 10, 20, 50 ways to overcome all of those, you're golden, and you can keep moving the deal forward. And I want to see all of you move the deal forward, because I believe that you've got a product that could change someone's life forever for the better, and we got to get you in front of them.
So you bring up some good points on, when the economy does shift, people get more cautious. And I always tell people, like, deep down, I hate sales. I hate the old school, hardcore closing, alternative choice, tie downs, the gamesmanship. I try to anticipate the objections and take them away, right? Negate them, address them early. So it's just, I become the easy and obvious choice.
Love that.
But I mean, there's always going to be, people are always going to have a question. I'm happy to, you want to think about it? I don't care, dude. If you're really giving me that, you either trying to be polite and blow me off. You just don't want to say it, or you're really going to think about it. And I can, after 25 years, I know usually which way that thing's going to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're doing a lot more iterations than I ever will with such a big team. Do you bake that into the equation? And okay, our sale average is X amount. We know, all right, yeah, that's fair. Some people do need to think about it, but it's a 24-hour, 48-hour, 72-hour kind of thinking process, and then they pull the trigger. Like, what are you seeing? Like, that's a norm.
Yeah, what I'm tending to see, and here, B-Rock, message this guy, I'm in a podcast. So what I typically see is, what I would recommend is you got to just prep in advance. Like, you should know, like, I know with the economy crashing, my employees are scared. I know customers are scared. People are worried about being able to pay for their food bill. People are worried about being able to pay for their mortgage, pay for gas, you name it, right? Like, I inherently know those things are coming. So I need to have good ways to address that with my people, with the people that we work with, you name it, right? So I recommend just being aware of the issues and concerns and problems and challenges that all of your prospects are going to face, and be ready to hit them and help them overcome those limiting beliefs, internal limiting beliefs or external limiting beliefs, and see if you can come to a mutual agreement to keep moving the deal forward. So it's less about hard closing someone and more about, like, just being smart. In poker, because I'm a big poker guy, if I've got pocket aces, that's the number one hand, I'm going all in, right? But let's just say I've got ace 7 offsuit. I'm middle of the table. So my odds on having the best hand are pretty low. So, like, it's just prepping in advance, prepping throughout the deal, throughout the situation, to be able to address anything that comes up. What do I do if they raise? What do I do if they check? What do I do if they fold? You name it.
Well, and you talked about early on, like, not being a math guy, but learning the most common things. I've always heard in poker, you're not playing your hand, you're playing the other guy. Right. So how much is it the odds versus the other guy? Like, when you're playing, is it 80% the guy, 20% knowing the numbers?
Great question.
Is it 50-50?
I think it's like 50-50. Because, like, if you always play the other person, there will be someone that you go up against that has a great hand that will call you down and you'll get smoked. So I think it's a lot about playing the right hands at the right times, and also knowing how to play the people based on the data and the statistics to make the best move and the best decision possible. And that's all it is with sales objections. That's all it is with, the whole world, the news, the economy, the family, the teachers, everyone beats you down to say no to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole goal of the world is to beat you down and to scare you. It's this fear, right? And I believe fear is like false events appearing real, or, forget everything and rise up. Like, it's this bullshit that we create in our minds that hold us back from making the decisions and investments that we need to become the best that we can be.
Yeah, because I was like last week with these guys, I was, made a couple calls, and these are not cold calls. They're generating leads. So somebody filled this form out and said, hey, I got a question on your product.
Yep.
Right. So I'm like, it's not a cold call, man.
Yep.
So we know something about this person because they fill out a form as well. Like, what are you interested in? So they got to type something. And, the first one I called was this old guy, and he's old school, and we're in the South, and he wants to play hard to get. Right. So I'm like, hey, is this,
of course, hard to get because like he just wants a deal, or why?
Yeah. So I
that's
called.
Funny. I
always tell people
too.
Yeah, but you got to listen. As soon as he answered the phone, I knew it was an older gentleman, an older Southern good old boy. Mm-hmm. So I'm asking him, buying these structures, and I'm like, hey, Paul, as we start talking, I'm like, is this for you or for someone in your family? He pauses, he goes, yeah. So the other guys listening, they're like, oh, I would have hung up right then and there. They would have given up on the sale.
By the way, what was what were you selling? What was this for?
They sell these tiny homes in portable structures. Right.
You told me about that, the tiny home thing on our last time we were together. That's awesome.
So he goes, yeah. So, I don't want to be a jerk, right? But he didn't answer the question. So I said, so which is it? Is it for you or for someone else?
Great question.
Right. But I match his energy. I slow it down, throw a little twang in there. He's like, yeah, it's going to be for my grandson, but I might move in it and give him the house. Okay. Now I got him talking. Right. And I don't know jack diddly squat about this product, but it's just reading, so in that case, but I know sales, right? But I'm playing the other guy.
Yeah. Well, I think that, Wes, dude, you're just giving a shit about the conversation.
Yeah.
Like how can you have an intelligent conversation if you don't know any variable?
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're interested in these tiny homes. Okay, cool. Who's it for? Why are you interested? Like, if you ask me right now, like I just recently bought these 2 massive houses, and I'm like, dude, there's such a nightmare. All the bullshit. Like I under forecasted all the bullshit with freaking the pool people, the grass people, the roof people, the AC people. The mail, who the hell gets the mail if you're not there? Like, there's just so much bullshit involved. I'm like, dude, I just want to live in a van down by the river.
Amen. Just want to live in a tiny home out in the woods.
Yeah, tiny home out in the woods. For some reason, I've always had this obsession with living in a van. I don't know what it is, but how would you know that if I'm just like, yeah, I'm interested in a tiny home? Like, if I said that to you, then now you could sell me on like, dude, you're going to be able to drop that bullshit 20, 30, 40, 50 grand mortgage a month. You're going to be able to drop the electricity bill. That's insane because you're fucking AC. You got 28 AC units. That's just burning money around the clock. The pool guys, screw that. You're living in the van down by the river. Just jump in the river anytime you need to take a shower or get cold. Yeah, like, I love that this guy opened up.
Yeah. And I tell people in all of my training, it's like, I'm not there to make them robots. I'm not there to make them clones of the sales whisperer. I just want them to have the confidence to stay in the game. Right? It's like, I have the confidence. I know there's nothing that guy can say to me. He doesn't know me. He can be rude. He can have a bad day. He could cuss me out. I'm like, I don't care. He doesn't know me. I'll just hang up and call the next one. Right. But I know he reached out. So there's an interest there. So I'm going to stand firm and ask a few questions and see if I can really help or not.
And sure. I think that's super smart. Can't be scared to ask these questions. Like, these aren't difficult questions.
No. And again, it's fair
to help guide the combo.
Yeah. Cause he reached out anyway, but even
what do you do, Wes? Like, what do you do? You know, I know what I do, but what do you do to coach these people? Like, you can't be scared to ask these sales discovery questions. Like, how do you coach these tiny home salespeople up, or any customer that you're working with who may be freaked out? To
anybody, look, dude, you literally got to throw them in. I tell this story, you know, when COVID hit, everything shut down, right? Our jiu-jitsu school shut down for like 2 months. Wow. And then we secretly, we covered the windows with paper and went in the back door. But but this school, this online guy that I follow, he said, hey, everybody's training at home now. He says, you can get one of our video series for free, right? And these are $70 to $100 video series. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. So I got one of them, but they were smart. Boom. Hey, now that you're here, pick another one, 50% off. And I said, okay, that's fair. So I bought another one, 50% off. And so I went through one of the series. I was going through the other one later on once our school was open. It was a 90-minute series. It took me 90 minutes to get through half of it. Right, because I'm rewinding, looking at all the nuances, and then the next day I went and trained.
For the jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
So the next day, within 6 seconds, I screwed up the move. I spent 90 minutes watching 45 minutes of the training, and within 6 seconds, I messed up. And I was like, shit, said stop. I went and got my iPhone, pulled up.
Nice.
Because you can study, you're only going to get so good.
Yeah.
You got to jump in.
It's like studying how to play poker. You know, like, I don't know much about jiu-jitsu, but the same thing. Like, you got to jump in. How to work. You could study how to work out. You could study how to sell. Yep. You could study how to play poker. You don't start doing it and living it. Like, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face, right?
Yeah, I can give you, 3 days straight of sales training, but really you only need about 3 hours. And then you just go pick up the phone. I'm going to get you the first 3 steps.
Yeah, maybe even an hour, to be honest.
Yeah,
Give really. An hour and then go work.
Yep.
Go start.
I'm gonna get you 3 steps into this, and it's going to branch off into 27 directions.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to help you take those first 3 steps so you can narrow it into 7 directions, and then maybe 3, and then you're going to master those, and you'll be good at sales. But you got to jump in and do it.
Yeah, I love that.
So, man, you were here back on 490. We were talking about your books. You've got your Seamless. What do you want people to do? You want to go do a free trial? You want to get your book? You got whatever it takes there.
I would say
7-figure social selling, confidential sales secrets. Where do we send people?
Yeah. I would say, first off, would love to get you on Seamless for free. Go to Seamless.ai, join for free. If you put in Wes's name or the name of the podcast, the Sales Whisperer, like get in, or the sales podcast, right? Like whatever, Wes, you want them to put in. We'll make sure that they get hooked up with $500 in free credits, as a thank you for having me on the show. And I always love these convos because I learned something. My goal is to learn something on every podcast from whoever I'm talking to. And it's been a lot of fun. And then also, I'd love to see everyone at our customer event. It's next May. It's the President's Club event, and also if you're worried about the economy, you're worried about how to survive and thrive, pick up a copy of Whatever It Takes. All these books are on Amazon, but the one that I recommend during difficult times or great times, I believe good times create bad salespeople. Bad times create great salespeople. If you can learn to survive and thrive. Best way to learn to survive and thrive and sell during any economic climate, especially a challenging one, whatever it takes. I wrote this during COVID in 22 days about all the secrets to get your mind right. So, and then lastly, we'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. We got about 1 million followers on LinkedIn, 1 million views every few days. I wish I got to 1 million followers, but love posting every day, just different secrets to help you crush it, whether it's sales, management, leadership, entrepreneurship, you name it.
Yeah, very cool. I'm one of those million. So, hey, I'm doing my part.
Dude, I appreciate it.
All right, Brandon, Seamless.ai. Thanks for coming back and sharing some wisdom, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. And good
do.
luck.
All right.
Can't wait to see you guys continue to crush it.
Have a great day.
I'll tell you what, his story sounds like my story. He was at IBM. I was with a couple of tech companies. I was in financial services first. Not very good training. Lots of bad bosses. So he's just younger than me. He had access to some different tools than I did in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he's killing it. But, I love his concept of handing out albums, rewarding people. Reward people. If you've got employees and staff, reward them. If you don't, reward yourself. As I record this, I'm using a big new curved Dell monitor. I've got a new podcast mounting arm on the way, new desk. What else am I getting? Mounting arms for my monitors. So I'll get them off the desk and I can swivel them around. It's like every now and then, you got to dig in and invest in yourself. And my kids kind of nudge me. My oldest son's a technophile. He looked up some things, and I'm getting a new banner, be the backdrop on my when I'm on video, banner with my logo. Get some T-shirts done, start selling some swag. But my son, he's trying to convince me to get a new chair as well. So maybe, I do a lot of sitting. I also do a lot of work on my laptop, just sitting in a leather chair. So I don't know, a good desk, good chair. It's probably better to sit there and do the work. So we shall see. Maybe if I had a better desk and could swivel things around, better chair, I might sit at my desk more. So, but, invest in yourself, right? Have fun. Sometimes reward yourself. And you got to remind yourself why you're doing this, okay? And by all means, help others. We just got back from a week-long vacation at the beach. We always go around my wife's birthday. Got COVID again for the second time, 2 years apart, exactly the same, but it was like half as severe. But it was weird. You may hear it in my voice, still a little congested, but much milder. 5 days of just feeling like crud, but thank God for ibuprofen. Took some naps, watched some Netflix, and got back to it. So, but some lingering congestion. But I can use the money, and we're going to SeaWorld next week, and paid for my son's rehearsal dinner. Got my daughter getting married September 1st, paying for that. So we spend on the family to help take care of them, take care of the in-laws, but reward yourself as well. Okay, I'm not kidding. It's not hyperbole. It's not self-serving when I say invest in yourself for the training. Surround yourself with like-minded people committed to growth, and get better at your sales skills, and it'll spill over into everything else, because everything is sales. All right, sellmoreofeverything.com. Come join us. Now go sell something.